Years ago, in the city of Awo, a young woman named Princess stood out as one of the most beautiful women anyone had ever seen. From a young age, people admired her beauty. Men, women, children, and the elderly alike marveled at her striking features. It became a common saying in Awo that if someone didn't turn their head to look at Princess when she walked by, they either had a severe neck injury or were blind. Princess was well aware of her beauty and used it to her advantage, garnering attention and favors effortlessly. By the time she entered her first year at university, a number of men were already vying for her hand in marriage. One of such men was Olamide, a much older businessman in his 50s, with a large potbelly and an intense determination to marry Princess. Despite his age and unremarkable appearance, Olamide was confident that he could win her over. His friends, Carlo and Maduka, tried to dissuade him, telling him that at 55, he had no business pursuing a 19-year-old girl. "Are there no women your age?" they asked. But Olamide was undeterred. He believed his wealth could outshine the young, handsome suitors vying for Princess's attention. "The beauty of a man is in his pocket," he confidently told his friends, believing that his money would eventually win her heart. Olamide began showering Princess with expensive gifts. He took her to the finest restaurants and even put her on a generous monthly allowance. He changed her wardrobe every few months and, for her 20th birthday, gifted her a brand new car. Princess enjoyed the luxury and attention, but deep down, she knew she didn't want to marry Olamide. He was nearly 30 years her senior, and she was embarrassed to be seen in public with him. Her dream was to become a runway model and explore life, not settle down with a man old enough to be her father. However, she couldn't resist the money and lifestyle Olamide offered her. Princess devised a plan to continue enjoying Olamide's wealth without committing to marriage, unaware that Olamide had his own plan to get her pregnant as quickly as possible. When Princess's period was 2 weeks late, she feared the worst. A pregnancy test confirmed her suspicions, and she was devastated. Although she was reluctant to tell Olamide, she had no choice. To her surprise, Olamide was overjoyed. "Oh, babe. This is the best news I've heard in a long time," he exclaimed, already envisioning their future together. But Princess wasn't thrilled. She was only in her second year of university, and the thought of becoming a mother at such a young age terrified her. Despite her reservations, Olamide proposed to Princess soon after, and they visited her parents. Though shocked by the age gap, her parents were won over by Olamide's wealth and quickly gave their blessing. Princess had hoped they would oppose the marriage, but they didn't, and she felt trapped. A few weeks later, Princess and Olamide were married in a lavish ceremony. Olamide danced joyfully, while Princess forced a smile throughout the event, her heart heavy with regret. Shortly after the wedding, tragedy struck. Princess had a miscarriage and lost the baby. While Olamide was devastated, Princess secretly felt relief, wishing the pregnancy had never happened. But her relief was short-lived, as Olamide insisted that she would not return to university until she gave him another child. "You need to focus on having my son," he told her, fearing that if she went back to school, she might be wooed by other men. Left with no choice, Princess dropped out of university and became a stay-at-home wife. As time passed, Princess grew increasingly resentful of Olamide. She hated his appearance, his mannerisms, and the way he controlled her every movement. Although Olamide continued to lavish her with gifts and praise her cooking, nothing could shake the deep sense of regret she felt for marrying him. She realized that she had been blinded by greed and had allowed herself to be trapped in a loveless marriage. Olamide's jealousy and constant monitoring made her feel like a prisoner in her own home. One day, Princess realized she could no longer endure the suffocating life she was living. Despite Olamide's attempts to make her happy, she began secretly planning her escape. When her bodyguard left on an errand, Princess seized the opportunity and drove off, laughing and screaming, "I am free." She left behind Olamide, their 3-month-old triplets, and a note explaining that she had never loved him and had only married him for his money. Olamide was heartbroken when he read the letter, but there was nothing he could do. In Ghana, Princess tried to start a new life, but without education or a steady income, she quickly burned through the money she had taken from Olamide. She struggled to find modeling jobs and eventually ended up working as a maid. As the months passed, she began to regret abandoning her family, realizing that she had traded a life of comfort for hardship. Filled with regret, Princess decided to return to Nigeria to reclaim her place in her husband's home. When she arrived, she was shocked to find that Olamide had remarried. His new wife, Mimi, was not only beautiful but had helped Olamide shed a lot of weight and regain his youthful appearance. Their home was filled with laughter, and their sons were healthy and well cared for. Olamide, once heartbroken, was now happy and content with his new family. Princess begged for forgiveness, hoping to reunite with Olamide and her children, but Olamide angrily refused. "You abandoned us," he told her, "and now it's too late." With nowhere to turn, Princess left in shame, realizing that she had lost everything. As she walked away, she wept, wishing she could undo the mistake she had made and turn to the life she had once taken for granted. But it was too late. The love, wealth, and security she had once had were gone, and she had no one to blame but herself. Moral of this story is that greed, vanity, and taking things for granted can lead to great loss and regret. It also teaches us that oftentimes choices driven by superficial desires can have long-lasting consequences. And happiness often lies in nurturing the blessings we already possess, rather than abandoning them in pursuit of fleeting pleasures. If you enjoyed this story, please make sure to click on the like button, share, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell for more sweet stories like this one.